As a moving business owner, your day starts with a plan. But what happens when your movers don't show and that plan falls apart? Last minute no-shows. You're left to bootstrap, jumping in as an extra body. Yet sometimes, even that's not enough. This isn't just a disruption, it's a barrier to your business growth. Introducing Moving Force, your on-demand moving team. With Moving Force, say goodbye to no-shows and hello to peace of mind. With reliable, on-demand staff ensures you're never undermanned, turning your operational nightmares into a thing of the past. Moving Force, where every day is moving day and every move is smooth. Empower your business and keep growing without missing a beat. Join Moving Force today and move forward with confidence.
See. So, all right, y'all. So, no, yeah, busy season's coming to an end. How fast was this summer?
I'm blown away. It's the end of August already. Like absolutely blown away. I feel like usually summer slows down for me a little bit and gets a little drags on, but not this summer. This summer everything just absolutely flew by, but probably from being on the road, I would imagine, rather than being at home all summer. So
Yeah. So, um, God darn stand will not stand. You're not doing your job. But no, so yeah, ultimately, yes, the summer did fly by. A lot of you probably just, thought that you could wing it, that your months would be busy, and your profit and your numbers would be where they were, and they probably weren't. Some people that's been in the industry for a while now that I kind of had a small relationship with as far as, from a professional standpoint, of course. And now they're going out, they're closing their shops. And I'm just like, whoa, what? No, not you. And but one of the people I didn't know had shut their marketing off. And I already knew what that was saying. That was like you might as well hang yourself. Um,
crazy because I'm telling you, I think there's only been a couple moving companies that I've been to where they've had some trucks in the yard. Other than that, man, the hundreds of like everybody's been busy that I've been jumping in. So I almost wonder the companies that aren't very busy, what are they not doing that the other companies are?
Marketing. So, and
Well, no, I would say yes in a lot of cases, but no in many, many, many cases, right? So you got your 100-year-old companies that just have the name, the this, to that. Like they are
you can't
not.
compare those people though. They
Hey,
built a
it's a
brand
moving company.
name.
It's a moving
You're right. You're
Even
right.
some of these
And
small
this
guys, these
this industry,
5 to 7 truckers, like busier and shit. They've only been around for 7 or 8 years. Like they don't have that mass, 100+ years worth of branding, we'll say. But they've been
so
cranking and they do like virtually zero.
yeah, so it's levels to it. 7 to 8 years. Hopefully you have some establishment. Hopefully you have a brand built by that point in time. Hopefully your reviews aren't in the crap. You
Yeah.
know, so at that point you should have a wide range of referral customers.
Yeah.
Your Google review should be up. Your Yelp should be up. Your Google Garden should just be nurtured at 7 to 8 years. But for you, 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 year people, or whatever the case is, who's still figuring it out, the marketing has to dial up. Using Facebook as one of your primary sources or social media channels as one of your primary sources for moving customers. I would frown on that part because I just don't feel like that's just a platform to use for moving. Now, obviously, if some of your customers are on Facebook and they are leaving you reviews on your Facebook business page, great. But, and maybe you could even use your Facebook business page to keep growing your audience. So whenever you have somebody that's marketing on your Facebook business page, all these updates are going out. Hey, your hometown dominators are, working with their local charity this week. Stop out, check up on us, whatever the case is. Little broadcast messages, little messages to tell them where you are, how you've been doing, your customer reviews, stuff like that. That's fine. But don't use it as a platform where it's like, oh, we got to get leads. Um, Monitor your Google ads. Don't overspend on Google ads. Just know what your competitor's market dollar is and make sure that you're in there. Like for us, when we were downstate in the Albany area of New York, it was about $2,000 to be competitive, with the local market if we wanted to shine above them. So, okay, now I know that at least some of my budget is $2,000 is going towards Google Ads. The rest of it is going towards my diversification and leads. And I never relied heavily on one source. But I also followed up if a source wasn't performing. So like if one of our sources was a lead provider or what do you call it, one of those moving brokers, and we haven't got leads from him in a while. Hey, John, what's going on? How you been? Oh, okay. We haven't got any leads from you guys in a while. What's going on? How's everything been in our market maybe? And get some in-depth information. Maybe they forgot about us. Maybe, whatever. There's some issue that's going on in their system where it's like, oh yeah, your profile, that's just went into vacation mode or whatever the case is. So, okay, we're gonna reactivate it, but you're good to take jobs, right? Yeah, of course. You know,
That's oh.
we used to struggle with customers' item size and weights and cost for inaccurate estimates. And we also ultimately had to cancel some jobs. It was when we found LiveSwitch Contact. Their video tool for quoting changed everything. We saved $5,000 in the first month alone. And our only regret is we didn't try them sooner.
Mm.
So, it's just you got to you if they've been good to you, follow up with them if they haven't gave you jobs or work in a while. And don't just say that, oh, well, hey, I put myself out there. It's time for them to do their job. No, it's just still a relationship, a give and take.
Well, that's something that we did, and I'm glad you highlighted that. Is we work with quite a few of these companies, like the NDS of the world, about logistics and things like that. Um, some things where typically the only time that they're getting a call is if there's a problem, right? If you're doing work for them, if we're a vendor, whatever the case is. But I always try to flip the script and call these guys all the time, just to make friends, just to be friendly. They send us jobs here and there, but it was one of the things where I found that as I grew the relationship deeper, they gave us greater and greater chances at more jobs and more jobs outside of the little 3-mile radius that they typically look for. Something to be said for whether it be a lead provider or relationship with another vendor that throws work at you. Like I just stayed on top of them all the time. Great relationship with those folks.
Um, and yeah, see what other opportunities are out there as well. See if there's some rate adjustments you can be making this season too if your rates were too high and maybe your schedule wasn't full. Now, obviously Ryan don't like the D word for indicating discount. Just y'all nasty mind individuals. Um
D is for discount, Dwight.
uh so yeah, no. So definitely no discounts. Now, obviously we did have things where we did what was it called? Rebates, or we would have something like a transferable gift certificate. So if a customer used us and they gave us a 5-star review, we would give them we would send them in the mail a gift certificate. And it was only obviously used for us. And it would be like, hey, if you're gonna use any one of our services, obviously we know you're probably not moving again in another 365 days, hopefully. So we're going to give you a complimentary service like, oh, well, we offer storage or we offer junk removal or cleaning services, whatever service, other complimentary services we offered. And you would get $50 off of that service, 50 or $75, depending on the service.
How long was that gift card good for?
It was good for a year. And if they knew they weren't going to use it, they can transfer it to someone else. And that person would get a $50 to $75 off their moving services as a rebate.
Yep.
So And that was a way to build a referral source of clients. Oh yeah, I gave it to my friend. They gave, and then we would get the code from the gift card because every gift card had a code on it, so it was unique. And we would get the code so that we checked it off so it wasn't duplicatable. And somebody was like, "Oh yeah, well I got this
Yeah.
code too." So it was one more thing to track, but it worked as far as building a referral base, customer base. So I don't know. Anything yet? Did you do anything like that, Ryan?
No, I start off doing referrals like real estate agents and things like that. And what I count, and again, this is just our market, our area. I know people do it completely differently, but what I found is over like just over a year, the real estate agents didn't care about the 50 to 75 or the $100 I would throw them for each move that they would refer to me. All they really cared about was taking care of their client. They wanted someone that they knew when they reached out to Ryan that their situation was going to be handled and complete. So we actually ended up doing away with realtor referrals because, again, our market, our realtors that we're working with, it wasn't about the money to them. It was truly about taking care of the customer. And obviously, anytime I came across people, just that constant referral bump to and from.
Mm.
But we didn't pay a lot of referral money, man, like at all, at all. But I feel
Yeah.
like that's where the relationship aspect, I feel like, you can start paying when the relationship's not there. But as that relationship grows, to me, it was, hey, then we're doing like a quarterly dinner with not just the real estate agent, but that real estate office to let them know, hey, Dwight, we serviced 35 moves of your clients over the last quarter. We average a 4.7 5-star or 4.7 rating on Google. Here's what your clients said about us. But we'd also show here's also what was not working during those 35 or 37 moves. Out of the 35 moves, 5 of them were hot shots. Basically, you called me on a Monday saying, hey, shit, we got to roll on a Wednesday. Not good during peak season. So I turn those meetings into kind of like a little touch base meeting. Hey, this is what you've given us. This is what we service. This is what our clients, your clients have said about us, but also here's where there's room for improvement to basically buckle down the system a little bit. And that went such a long ways with them.
Yeah.
Because most real estate
Um,
agents, as you know, don't know our business that well. They think they can pick up the phone or tell their client that's moving, hey, call Dwight. Dwight will get you moved out in a couple days.
mhm.
No. So I think the education and awareness of the real estate agent about our industry, about what it takes to go into a move was, I think, more valuable to them than getting the 50 to $75 check at the end of the month.
Well, they couldn't accept that anyways. Um, no, so it's actually been interesting. As you know, I have my real estate license or so like that as one of many things.
Yeah, too many licenses, man. You license for everything.
But the next on the bucket list is the pilot license. I gotta,
You'd be
uh,
flying in, selling houses and moves all at the same time now.
you know it.
You
But
priority shipping with Dwight. Put that shit in the plane and just boop.
When your team isn't trained, mistakes happen. Jobs go wrong. Customers complain. And your business? It suffers. At Max Moving Training, we help moving companies like yours build strong, reliable teams from the inside out. From mover and driver training to sales, operations, marketing, and leadership, we give your people the skills to succeed. When everyone is trained, everything runs smoother and your business grows stronger. Training isn't optional. It's essential. Stop guessing. Start training. Join Max Moving Training today.
it's one of those things where, like they said, moving is the pipeline to everything. It opens the door to other fields, and sometimes it's related. But with that being said, it would be cool to get in a room with join these realtors associations and get in a room with a bunch of realtors or whatever the case is. Um, and definitely letting them know about Moving Force. So but nevertheless, so again, marketing, y'all, don't turn it down. Don't shut off the valve. Don't say, oh well, we're going into off season. We gotta lower our marketing spend. Your marketing spend should have been consistent anyways. The thing is you would have spent more in the summer because obviously there's more people moving, but in the winter months it levels off. So if you were having like say, well, I usually spend about $200 to $400 a month on one particular lead provider. In the summer month, that might have been 600 to 800. it didn't ramp up. Your budget was still the same. It's just you ran through a lot more leads. But now in the winter months, you're going to average back out to that 200 to 400. So you don't need to be like, oh, well, let me actually adjust this budget. The budget will adjust itself.
Let me
So,
ask you, would you adjust your budget, say peak versus non-peak? So peak season, we know that moves are naturally going to be coming in, right? People are looking to move. So if I'm spending just say $2,500 a month in non-peak, do I back down my marketing spend, say to $1,000 during peak season, and then once non-peak comes back up, do you ramp it back up? What are your
it
thoughts on? I honestly, I'm only asking because I don't know. We didn't spend any money on advertising. So again, this is always an area that I suck in.
it always depends on if it's a fixed marketing expense. So, like if it was like SEO and you have room to wiggle, or if it was Google Ads and you have room to wiggle. Because those are fixed marketing platforms as well as Yelp, where you're like, well, hey, I'm only going to spend $600 on average for Yelp. Okay, now you're going to likely hit that pedestal, that 600 cap more quickly in the summer months than if you would in the non-peak season. Now, typically in the busy months, you know that you're going to be busy. So if you know that you are very diversified with your marketing, hey, cut down the SEO. The SEO is going to sustain, especially if you're at a good point with your SEO. Cut down it. Don't get rid of it. Cut it down to say half. Cut your Yelp budget from 600 to 300 or whatever the case is. At the end of the day, you're going to continue to get business because it's just that busy, and you built the reviews. So you got the reviews on Google, you got the reviews on Yelp, you got other SEO websites. So any marketing company you get with, make sure they have some level of SEO that will put your name higher on the rankings, because the more you pop up in different places when somebody searches your company, the likely are they're to trust your company. Also, sometimes these other platforms have like Trustpilot platforms. For Trustpilot, I think is really good for like CRMs or whatever the case is. Um, but there's moving company reviews .com, I believe. They're an older company, but again, they used to post moving companies reviews on their website, so that again, it was like a SEO channel. So now your Google Garden is looking really good when somebody searches your company or searches a local moving company. But if they search your company specifically, maybe they see 10 listings. Oh, you're with moving.com. Oh, you're with Hire Helper. Oh, you're on Google, you're on Yelp, you're on moving company reviews, and it just keeps going on. And you got really great reviews on these platforms. Oh, instantly, that right there will probably just get you jobs.
100%. But what I will tell you, what's been frustrating for me to see, and this happened this morning. I had two companies in the Boston area. I will not name them, because I'm honestly a little embarrassed for them. I had two people I need to get a hold of. Called the one company, it was like 8:26, somewhere in there, right before 8:30. Now, everything shows that they're open at 8 a.m. Nobody picked up the phone. I called 3 times, got voicemail all 3 times. I
Mm-hmm.
went to book my move, right? I pressed number one for that. Went through the process, nobody. Called back, clicked on number two, which was if you already have a move scheduled, press number two to talk to your coordinator. I pressed on number two on the third call, nobody.
Mm.
So I don't care how much you're spending on marketing, how much you're doing this, that, what have you. If you're not picking up the damn phones, like obviously, no, I'm not a customer, right? Do they know that? No, because I always block my number when I call. Anybody for the most part, so let's see my cell phone pop up. I do a lot of phone pops, right? Just to see, it's like, does the audio match the video? These moving companies that I'm working with, when they say that their sales process flows this way, that's great to say it, but is it truly happening that way? So, to
Yeah,
your point,
no,
it's
definitely.
critical, but if you ain't fielding them calls and picking the calls up and getting back to the customer, what good's that money you're spending?
Hmm. And people are definitely dropping the ball. Like you mentioned, people are not answering their phones. And
And
it's
this
just,
isn't a 3, 4, 5 truck operation at all. This isn't where the drivers on the these guys have teams of people, which
yeah.
I'm shocked. Maybe there's like a big team meeting that's I'm gonna try again after the show here, but it's just
Yeah, no.
frustrating. It's like, man, how can a company be so good with so many 5-star reviews, but I can't get them to pick up their phone at 8:30 in the morning?
Yeah, no, and some of them are, and again, you know who you're targeting, but some of these companies I think are just portraying to be too big. You know, oh, press one for this, press two for this. It goes to the same person. You know, I'm just like, come on, don't do that to me. Don't make me feel like I'm calling two different people. But um, um, I feel like a lot of people's sales process can definitely be better, you know. So for me, I would say, and going into the off season, yeah, training, training, training. And I know that a lot of people frown on learning new things or learning or adjusting their ways because they're just stuck in their old ways or whatever the case is. But I've had the opportunity from a moving force standpoint to visit a few companies and just seeing their operations, seeing them and hearing them on the phones or whatever the case is, I'm just like, it could be so much better, you know. And now they're, of course, they're going to say, "Oh yeah, we've been extremely busy," but extremely busy is opinionated, and that's based on
Yeah.
your max capacity. You know, if you got two trucks and you're like, "Oh, I've been extremely busy," you only got two trucks. You know, I would hope so. You know, but if you got like 6 to 10 trucks and only like, you know, maybe six of them are going out, 6 of 10. You got room. You got a little room to wiggle around.
Are you in search of a side gig? Get ready to land the ultimate side hustle. Don't let this opportunity slip away. Join Moving Force as a mobile mover. Enjoy the freedom to set your own hours, earn excellent income, and be your own boss. Apply now. Download the app for free, available on the App Store. It's time to make a move, both figuratively and literally.
Yeah. It's a lot of
So
repairs to be paying on trucks that aren't moving.
yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like improve your sales process. Don't, you know, have customers do the math for themselves. This is one of the things that irk me, where it's like, oh, well, we're going to be 235 an hour with X amount of men in a truck, and um, we think it's going to take about 5 hours. So, you know, we got your information. So if that works for you, only thing we need is just a deposit. And that was just a wing script. You know, they probably do it just slightly little better than that. But you know, but it's like it's so custom that they do that, where they just give you the hourly rate and tell you technically as a customer, do the math.
Yeah. No, you can't put that. I did have a couple companies. Hey, the first hour is $235. Every hour after that for three guys in a truck is $150. Plus there's the and I'm sitting there like, how much what's the move gonna cost? Like I have no idea. But I also think, speaking to a lot of folks, they say, oh, I don't have enough leads. I'm not getting enough opportunities. Like I'm not booking enough jobs. So to me, it's two things. Is one, are they not getting enough opportunities where it's a marketing issue or enough at bats? Or B, are they getting the at bats and they're striking out? In the case
Hmm.
that I'm finding is it's not a lack of leads. They're getting plenty of leads per month. They're just closing 12 to 15% of them, which is
Yeah.
no good. If they could
Well,
increase their closing ratio to 35, 40%, they wouldn't be having to look for all these additional leads. Oh, my lead provider sucks. No, you're getting 250, 300 leads a month, and you're closing a small fraction of them. They're solid leads.
so
So
it's
go
a
back and
it,
listen to your calls.
so so as y'all know, that goes both ways. The lead provider can be horrible,
Yeah.
but at the same token, do you have your most efficient salesperson on those leads? And the most efficient person, ideally, is usually the owner of the company because nobody knows the company better than you, so you should be able to pitch it. But if you're not in a sales capacity and you're more of a trucker, you're on the trucks more or less, then you have to have someone in the office that can actually make sales and not just burn through your leads. Now they say, oh, moving sells itself because customers are calling you and they're asking for a quote, and obviously you got to close it. Movie doesn't sell itself because
My other question, what are we actually, as movers, what are we selling?
you're really supposed to be selling the experience, more or less, and then secondary, I would think a service. So that's part of the whole flow. when you speaking to those customers, is selling that experience, selling that, oh, what is it like to move with Max Movers, or whatever your company name is, but if you're going through like, oh, okay, so what are you moving? Oh, you got this, da 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 da. Oh, I got your inventory. Okay. Oh, it don't look that bad. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna be 235 an hour, and after that, we're gonna be da 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 da. So what do you think? $50 deposit? That's not
Yeah, I
selling
just
an
wonder because
experience.
I look at when I purchase services, right? Like I had a plumber come through, two plumbers. I don't know shit about plumbing, right? I don't know how to fix it. I don't know. All I know is I need plumbing work. So I try to transition this to the moving world. People don't know moving. Otherwise, they probably move themselves or what have you. So they're reaching out to a moving company. I get two quotes from the plumbers. One's higher, one's lower. Which one do I choose?
You can
How do I
choose
know
the
which
lower
one
one
to
in this case.
choose? Right? They both sent me just a number or quoted me a number over the phone from that first call. How do I know which one I'm picking? Which are they both going to fix the leak? But one's 5 grand, one's 3 grand. So when it comes to the moving world, same thing. You got a quote for 3K, 5K. If you're not building the value, you're not talking about the company, you're not finding out the customers why, how, of course, customers can pick the cheapest price.
Mm-hmm.
It's like me when it comes to the plumber. If you guys are saying, I'm both saying you're going to fix the leak, great. Well, the one guy that was 2 grand higher was going to replace all my pipes that were going to start leaking. The other company was not going to do that. But it's just to me, it's how do you present the scope of work to the customer? How do you build that value up front?
So, again, and that's everybody's building value is going to be different. But one of the things that Max Moving Training kind of goes over is one, build that rapport with customers, empathize with the customers. Basically, what is it called? Paraphrase what you heard. Little things like that, little etiquettes like that. So, okay, so what you're saying is that basically we need to be you need to be able to be out of your house by 3 p.m. that day. Um, because you have your power being turned off. Okay, that's no problem. What we can do is we could da 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 strategize on how you want to get that customer out. Just by little techniques like that, customers are like, okay, I'm being heard. That's part of an experience. Now you go into, okay, well, hey, I got all your information. I got what you said about having to be out by a certain time. Here's what our guys are going to do. We're going to bring three guys with a truck. They're going to wrap everything, put all the boxes in the truck, get it unloaded, put it where you need it. If you can tag the rooms, that'd be great so that they don't have to keep bugging you or whatever the case is. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we won't do. Okay, here's how we charge. Here's what the estimated price is going to look like. And then go into the close or whatever the case is. And again, it breaks down completely different than that, but that's the gist of it. Where it's like you sold an experience. You didn't just tell that person who called and said, "Hey, I got a 2 bedroom. What is it going to cost to move?" Control the tempo in the room and basically make sure that they have the experience with your company. Now, if they don't want to have that experience and they want to be rushy, maybe they're not your customers, and that's okay.
It's okay to say no.
So, but all right, y'all. So we are at the top of the marker. So, if y'all definitely have any questions about this episode, one, like, comment, and subscribe. But two, drop your questions in the chat so that basically I can go back and look at it and respond to you. Um, Reach out to Ryan as well if you guys are in the market for a software.
Voice
So
agents. So you have somebody pick up your phone for you. Don't let it go to voicemail. Voicemail's dead. My
yeah.
goodness.
And I'm even thinking about going in that direction. There are so many companies out now that are doing voice agents that can answer your phones and sound really, really good now. Um, that just makes it make sense. If your phones are ringing off the hook like that, if your phones ain't ringing off the hook, you better answer that damn phone.
But even then, after 5 p.m., like open up your Google Hours to 24/7. You don't have to have the
Mhm.
8 to 5 or 9 to 5 anymore. What we've seen, and we just did this with the customer out of Tampa, Florida, who's got multiple franchises, is they've increased their lead by 35% since picking up a voice agent after hours. So increased their leads by 35% by having an after hours voice agent. So now they're open 24/7. And what they're seeing is from 7 o'clock until I think it was like 11 p.m. is they're getting an influx of calls,
Yeah,
which is
that
insane.
is golden right there. If you guys don't make it, or ladies don't make it to Titans Moving Titans Retreat. Sorry, had to reverse those words. Um, you're losing out on a lot of nuggets. Me and Ryan, we could drop these nuggets all day, but the nuggets that they're going to be dropping, and something simple like being open 24/7 and just having a autopilot, or AI pilot just answer your phones for you, it's
Yeah.
golden.
And
Like,
if and again, with at least with our, obviously you can do warm transfers. There's many things our agent can do besides just answer the phone and grab details and push it into your CRM as a lead or an opportunity, whatever the heck you want to call it. But having the ability, it's why one of our other customers, it was 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. One of their commercial clients called. They ended up getting the warm transfer over. That sales rep booked a $42,000 job at 9:10 at night. Now, would that customer have left a voicemail and called back the next morning? Would that sales rep have picked up the voicemail and called back that rep the next day? No idea. But what we do know is from that voice agent picking up the phone at 9 o'clock, when this business was always historically closed at 5 p.m., it would go to voicemail. Just shy of a $43,000 job was booked in less than 12 hours
mm,
with
I
the
heard
voice
it.
agent.
Yeah, I heard it first. All right, y'all. So, tune in next week. We'll see y'all then. Keep turning up. End of the summer. Dial it in. Figure out what we're going to be working on going into the next quarter. All right, y'all. Y'all take care.